This is a small poem, essay that I had found, and I'm not sure who the person is who wrote it, so I can't give credit to them, but I think that this is a really good message. This is called Nothing to Cure. John. Hey, God.
Hey.
God.
God.
Hey, John. John, cure autism. God. No. John. Why? God. There is nothing to cure. John. Huh? God. Autistic people aren't broken. They aren't sick. They are just people singing a beautiful song with lyrics that are foreign to you. John. But sometimes I don't understand what song my son is singing. God. That's okay. Forget the lyrics and just sit back and enjoy the melody. John. I don't like to see him struggle. God. All flowers struggle just before they blossom. John. If you won't cure autism, what will you do? God. I'll have you help me cure something else. John. What's that? God. Ignorance.
Nice.
It is nice.
How old is your son, RJ?
RJ is 28.
Hi, RJ.
Such a big fluffer is gonna look so cool.
He's telling you what type of fan to put in here.
Oh, yeah. You explained to me that RJ has a fascination with ceiling fans.
Yes, ceiling fans. He's going into an alarm clock kick right now, but we're trying to stay on the fans.
That's a ceiling fan catalog you're looking at.
Yes, that is, I would say that book that he has is almost 20 years old. It has been almost every medical appointment that we've been to. It's gone camping. It goes fishing. It is, it's vital to him.
RJ is 28.
Yes. Cognitively, RJ is very splintered. He's between 7 and 17.
In terms of age?
Yes.
I see.
In terms of mental age. And interestingly, RJ has Williams syndrome, PDD-NOS, which is kind of the catch-all for people that have some autistic tendencies but don't fit the whole bill. ADHD, OCD, echolalia. What else do you all have? He's got a couple other things in there. And some of them are considered cognitive or intellectual disabilities, but some of them are considered mental illness. So.
RJ, what is your fascination with ceiling fans?
Why do you like them so much?
We got places to look at them.
Yes, we do. Why do you like fans so much? Can you tell, Mark? Because they spin. Oh, this is how I get hugs. Thank you. That's a hug.
Did RJ go to school when he was young?
Oh, yes. RJ graduated from high school and he attended some college. He did very well. We actually transferred him from his first high school. He was starting to regress. But the difference there was he was in a concrete room with no windows, and he was instructed he could not talk to people. And he started to regress. And the day the teacher called me...
I'm gonna tickle your hair.
Thank you. Could you please sit down, honey? Mom is talking with Mark. Thank you. I'm sorry. The day the teacher called me and said, well, we think you should put him on more medication. I decided it was time to find him a different high school. And when we transferred to a new high school, RJ went from 7 different kinds of medications down to 3. So the educational system, as a parent, we have to be proactive in making sure that it's a good fit.
Is RJ your only child?
Yes. Yes.
And your husband was, he was around to help raise?
My husband passed away when RJ was 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He passed away from lung cancer. And quite honestly, I think if he were to have survived, we would have been divorced. It was very hard for him to accept the disability and to deal with it. And we were already starting to feel the strain in it. But RJ does remember places that they had gone together and things that they had done.
RJ, do you remember your dad? No? You love your mom, right?
Thank you.
Tell me what it's like, RJ, living in northern Wisconsin. It's a very small town you're in, right? Do you like it there?
Oh, yes, I do.
Do you have friends?
We have Patty and Frank, correct, Mom?
Yes, you have Patty and Frank, and you have a lot of friends. I think everybody in Rhinelander knows you. Everybody where we go somewhere knows him.
What town do you live in?
We live in Elko, but we're
Melissa is
20 miles from a larger
Melissa
town.
is from the main Mustville Clinic.
Yes.
Ooh.
But it's funny, we go somewhere and they go, "Oh, there's RJ. Oh, hi, I'm here too." Yeah. But
4 switches there for the light for the chain.
that's
4
actually
switches there is for the fan, I guess.
his hypersocialization is actually the major, it's a big thing across the board with Williams syndrome. They are hyper social people.
RJ, what kind of things do you like to do?
Fishing.
You like to go fishing?
Yes.
What else?
Go visit my friends at places.
What else?
Like a mama store in Indigo. Like a dog daycare center.
What else do you like to do? What do we do in the fall?
Go camping.
Yeah. We go camping. And what else what are you going to do on Wednesday?
Track and field.
For Special Olympics, yes. RJ's got many medals in Special Olympics.
Do you love your mom?
Yes, I'm gonna take.
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
Wendy, tell me what it's like raising a child like RJ.
Oh.
By yourself.
For me, I would compare it to being in a sort of purgatory, not a religious purgatory per se, but it can be hell on earth with all that is entailed. The disability, that can actually be just a cakewalk. You learn about it, you deal with it, but then when you add in the paperwork, I see a letter come from federal, state, or county offices and I panic. It's now what's wrong. Then you have the finances, segregation is still there, discrimination, bullying, all of those things. There are days it could be just one thing, but then there are days, all of them are compiled. There are days I'll get 35 pages of paperwork to do for Social Security.
Max, they'll be coming this year at this hotel again.
For example, when we moved a couple years ago, we moved from one county to another. You have to redo the guardianship. even though it's the same state, you have to redo all the paperwork for guardianship. Each year you have to reprove the disability, even though it's a chromosomal disorder. There are individuals that are higher functioning autism. If they fill out that paperwork wrong, they're going to lose their benefits. This isn't just for me with paperwork and such. But it's, as parents, we're kind of like CEOs of a company. But for special needs parenting, it's like we're on steroids or something. We just have so much more of it. And then trying to blend a family, raise a family. But for RJ, it's we all have our comfort zones. And for us, he loves to go places. It's social therapy. So I'll take him to the store whether we need something or not. And for me, getting out of the car and going in the store, I'm outside my comfort zone immediately. And I go into protection mode right away. And he's just a social butterfly. He just wants to talk to everybody. And I'm trying to protect this pure essence of love from a society that can't accept that.
It's not going to go very fast when you have your own test.
No. We're talking about something else. Sorry.
Wendy, what does this do to you emotionally? Because the wear and tear of this day in, day out for 28 years must get to you.
It does. I have a big teddy bear that I grab hold to at night sometimes and have a good cry. I drink a lot of coffee and I smoke cigarettes. And I have a very dry sense of humor. But I am patient.
The Lord Jesus needs to have 5 legs and 4 legs too.
I am very patient with this one, but I am not patient with someone that degrades him or bullies him. Then Mama Bear just boom, it's up. And
Did RJ's condition get worse as he got older when he was a child?
No, actually, it's a chromosomal disorder. So the Williams syndrome, I caught it in the sense that because of the situation at birth, I was watching for milestones. And when he wasn't reaching them, I immediately reached out to our doctors and we got into a birth to 3 program and we started therapies and we got the ball rolling to help him get along as far as he could. It doesn't worsen per se. I would think if someone doesn't work with what they have on their plate, then there could be issues, but...
Do you have good days and bad days with RJ?
Oh, yes. There are days I put in 40 hours a day before my second cup of coffee, and but then there are wonderful days when we go fishing and we watch the sunset and listen to the birds, and I get hugs all day long. This is...
That's a hug.
Yeah, that's my hug. And there are times when if RJ gets abdominal migraines, that is terrifying. In the medical sense, they're horrendous. That's scary. There have been a couple times he's coded on me when he's had surgery, and to stand there and hear the code go over the hospital PA and see all these technicians and come running and start working on your child, that's scary.
So this was a chromosomal thing that happened, not something you
Right.
did when you were carrying him, or
Right. This was chromosomal.
when he was born.
He was 2 weeks overdue. So I do think that the severity of it in regards to his cognitive abilities was due to that. But it's a very big spectrum. They're very high functioning, very low functioning. Failure to thrive, a little bit chunky. It's, as with anything, it's a spectrum. Who's going to catch the biggest fish?
Me.
Yeah, right.
What kind of fish do you catch up in near Rylander?
What kind did we catch?
The best.
We caught some nice largemouth the other day. Couldn't keep any of them. Caught a 19-incher. Like, oh.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Your phone is charging.
Yes. Individuals with Williams syndrome are very musically savant. They actually have a summer camp.
Plan for you.
They actually have a summer camp. I think it's in Michigan for Williams syndrome and music. RJ goes to Easter Seals when he can.
I'm getting so funny.
Yes.
Smile.
What else can we tell Mark about you?
Do you like music, RJ?
Yes.
What kind of do you play an instrument? Do you sing? What do you do?
I sing.
RJ will listen to a song and he'll hear 2 or 3 bars of it, and then he'll tell you who it is. Come sit and lean up over
singing
here.
on the floor.
Yes. Here, come here and sit here. There you go. How's that?
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, you talk about those fans.
All of them needs to go everywhere in this lovely hotel. All them aloha breezes.
Yes. It's interesting though, with hyperacusis, that's the one I miss. Individuals with Williams syndrome have extremely sensitive hearing. And RJ, if someone asks me about RJ's hearing at home, I'll say RJ will hear a cricket fart in the next county. That's how intense his hearing is. And that causes issues a lot. Yeah, we'll go shopping. If there's a fluorescent bulb that's burning out, he'll hear it and he'll get on edge. If the PA system in the store is a couple decibels off, he'll hear that. And I'm like, oh, here we go. He will hear fire trucks 2 miles away. And it's like, oh.
It's interesting.
Yeah. But that can cause meltdowns if we're not on top of it. So there again, that's outside the comfort zone.
What does a bad day with RJ look like?
Oh. I am going to say a bad day was for sound meltdowns was at home. It was at 1 a.m. and I was getting my coffee set up for the next morning, and I turned the faucet on and I filled the coffee pot and I shut the water off, and he had a full-blown meltdown, and it scared the bejesus out of me. I'm like, what's going on? Here, the water filter had gotten some dirt in it, and it changed the pitch of the water. And that was...
But things like alarms or chainsaws and things like that?
Yes, and it isn't when the sound is going on. It's when it stops. It's like if there's a rhythm, like with an alarm clock, and that stops, boom, the meltdown is there. There are certain songs by Queen or the Police, and unfortunately the national anthem.
That upset him or that he likes?
It causes a full-blown meltdown. We have custom-fit earplugs.
When the song ends or when it's playing?
When it ends.
Because he likes the song?
No, there are certain pitches and tones that he cannot tolerate.
Really?
Jingle Bell Rock. Yeah, can't. I have to leave the store. I literally have to leave.
Well, I do too. So.
Oh, yeah, we literally have to leave play. If we're having dinner out and a song comes on by the Police, it's like, oh, excuse me, I'll be right back in, so they don't think I'm running out on the bill. And we go stand outside, and the waitress will go, come on back in.
How do you think your 28 years with RJ have changed you, Wendy?
I think that they have, well, I guess I have a good level of patience. I've learned my own inner strengths, spirituality. He brings me joy. He brings me happiness. What else do you do? Tickle Mom's hair. When I applied for parenthood, I think, of course, I was hoping for the perfect child. I think we all do. But I think when my husband and I got the diagnosis, my husband literally went outside and shook his fists at the sky and said, how could you do this to me? And I cried because I don't know. Right now, he's considered an old man because of his medical issues. But, so I grieved, I cried. I grieved for the normal child. But I rolled up my sleeves and I said, okay, what do we gotta do? And we do it. And we improvise and we have fun, and we hopefully RJ makes people happy. And are you happy?
Yes, I am. You're so funny.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you. I get that all
RJ,
day.
could I ask you to sit next to your mom?
Come sit by Mom. Pretend you like me some more.
Thank you, RJ.
See, I'm gonna.
Thank you. Sit down. Hey, Jude. Thank you.
I've asked this question of other people who have been through some very difficult things
Yes.
in life. And I'll ask you the same thing. Would you, if you could, have lived a different life with a child that was not special needs, like RJ, would you have chosen to do that?
I wouldn't know what to do with them. I don't think I would.
If you could turn back the clock and say you will get another child who, goes through high school smoothly and makes friends and everything is hunky-dory, would you have traded?
No. There's a reason for everything. And when I was younger, I always wanted to be a teacher. And I think, we both teach each other, but I'm honored that in the realm of things that I was chosen to be his mom. Except when he scares me at 1 a.m. Then, No, I don't think that I would. I really don't.
He seems very good-natured.
He is.
Likes to play.
Yes, I am truly blessed in that sense that he is very good-natured. And it's sad because he's self-injurious. When he has meltdowns, he bites himself, he'll hit himself. And it's interesting because when he was having one of his IEPs at school, of all days, they had a fire drill that day. And we were doing the IEP and we went out for the fire drill and it stopped, bam, he took off and he was running. And a friend of ours was with us and he ran after RJ. And when he caught him, RJ was pounding on a car on the glass. He was bam, bam, bam. And our friend came back with RJ and he was smiling. Our friend was smiling. He goes, I know what he's doing. I'm like, well, I'm glad you do. And he goes, he's hitting himself. He's mad at himself for the meltdowns. And when RJ has a meltdown, he will apologize.
Are you aware of maybe the uncomfortable position you put your mom and others in when you're having a meltdown, RJ?
Yes.
What are you feeling when you're having those?
It's okay. Tell Mark. What do you feel when you have a meltdown?
Angry.
Mm-hmm.
And who are you angry at?
Loud noises.
The noises. Yeah.
Hair dryers at the hair salon.
Mm-hmm.
Or Sting's voice?
It's okay. We can talk to Mark about why you get angry.
Everyone gets angry, RJ.
Like you, Mark.
Mark might get angry
I
once
get angry a
in a while.
lot.
Uh-oh.
Everyone gets angry.
Mm-hmm. But what do we do when we get angry? What should we do?
Think about tickling your eyes.
No, we think happy thoughts. What's a happy thought? Thank you.
Go to regionals for Mother's Day.
You go to regionals next week, yes, for Special Olympics.
You go to the Special Olympics, RJ?
Yes.
Do you enjoy that?
Yes.
What is your sport?
The javelin throw.
This year he'll be doing the javelin, the softball throw, and the 100-meter walk. He used to run, but now his knees dislocate.
Does he excel at any of these?
Oh, yes. Last year, he brought home a gold and a bronze from state competition. And he's got a gold in snowshoeing. He's got several gold. He's got quite a few blings going on. The only thing he doesn't have a medal in is bowling. But I think
I guess once in
the
a
location that they have it is so overstimulating for even neurotypical people. It's so I can see, why, but he enjoys it.
I remember when I was in grade school, not far from where we are right now in Illinois, there was and we were all athletes, throwing balls, doing all that kind of stuff. We all thought we were great athletes. We were on the basketball team. We were on all these sports teams. And there was this one student in our grade who would sit in the corner of the playground just by himself with his nose in the corner of the playground next to the building. And one day the ball ends up rolling next to his feet, and he sees it and he picks it up and he threw the ball twice as far as any of us ever could.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And then shortly after that, we had a chess team, and he was on the chess team, and he was our number one ranked player, I guess, on the chess team.
Oh,
He
nice.
was really impressive, super intelligent, very gifted athletically, but he could never just socially do much of anything. He could never be on any team, except for
Yeah.
the chess team.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think every person who has a shortcoming or disability like RJ also has a strength that it almost makes up for it in some ways.
Yes. RJ,
And perhaps his music or hearing is it.
RJ is very empathic. He reads people. It can be frustrating if someone is having a bad day because he'll pick that up. But we were doing craft shows 2 years ago. And we were there every week from the end of May through the end of August. And it was so ironic because I was talking to the vendor next to us. We were talking about the purpose of life. And while she and I were talking, this young lady came up and started talking to RJ. And he was very familiar with her, and he's like, "How have you been? What is this? What is that? And your hair looks really nice." And I'm like, wow, And she talked to him. And as she was leaving, she said, "Thank you again." And she gave him a big hug. Okay. So she walked past us, and I said, "Well, thank you for chatting with RJ. And by the way, why did you thank him?" And she said, "Oh, I saw you guys the first day you were here back in May, And I was on my way to commit suicide. I had the razors in my pocket, and there's a little cubby hole around the building, and I'm like, whoa, yikes, I got goosebumps. And she was like, your son came out and started talking to me. And he told me I was so beautiful and that he was really happy to meet me. And then he gave me a big hug and he told me he loved me. And just that couple of seconds changed her whole perspective. And the vendor next to me and I, we were like, wow, that's really weird. And but last year, we didn't attend the craft fairs because of the weather and the air quality. And one of the other vendors sent me a message and she said, someone was here looking for you guys. And then she told me it was the young lady that he had talked to. She's in recovery and she has her children back. All because someone, and it could have been anyone, but it happened to be RJ, someone gave her a couple of seconds of, you matter. And that's what he seems to have a knack for doing.
RJ, do you sense what other people are feeling sometimes? That's interesting. That's a gift.
Yeah.
We want you to crush us, but we will go with our friends.
We'll see. We'll talk about that later, okay?
Okay?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and he remembers my husband's hospice nurse. I had no idea who she was, but he did. And he said, you helped my dad. And it's just, he just seems to know if someone needs a hug. And don't you?
What is your fascination with ceiling fans, RJ? What do you love about them?
They give me so much air.
They give you air. That's interesting. We have to have fans wherever we are.
Really?
Yes.
Got one there.
You want one there, huh?
All different colors.
Mm.
Wendy, let me ask you a question. Last one.
Yes.
What would you say is the most important thing you've learned from this life with RJ? Or in your life in general?
From him, unconditional love. From life, I'm still working on that.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. Yeah.
RJ, is there anything you've learned in life that is helpful? No?
My favorite fan, empty breaths, the heart breezes. With the blue lights and then the white lights fall reversed at the same time. Where the ceiling light is.
Yes, you write a letter to the director and they will put one in for you.
All right, Wendy. And
Do
RJ?
you love me every time when we start the interview?
Yes. April is Autism Awareness Month and May is Williams Syndrome Awareness Month.
I'm getting so funny. Look at my face.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
That was great.
Oh, thank you. I hope it helps somebody.